I should be outside doing wildlife photography right now, but last night the BBC issued 2 yellow weather warnings, one for wind and one for thunderstorms. Because of that, I'm stuck in my studio. However, I packed my bag before coming out, and that means I now have a full backpack of all my wildlife photography equipment and what I would have brought with me. That means that today, instead of going out and using it, I can show you what I carry in my backpack in 2023 as a wildlife photographer. My backpack is a 50-litre backpack from Mountain Warehouse, and it's comprised of 3 sections. You have the brain up the top, where we put all of our accessories that we want to get to frequently. Then we have our main huge body compartment, and then all the side pockets for anything we can store on the outside of the backpack. First, I'll explain what I put in each compartment and why I put it where it is. Secondly, I'll show you all the equipment that I have in the bag, and thirdly, we'll weigh the bag to see how much this wildlife photography camera bag really weighs. Not gonna lie, this is a bit of a strange perspective, but I'm hoping it'll allow you to see how I've organised the bag a bit better. So as I mentioned, I have my accessible bits in the top. That includes things like my vlogging camera, my SD cards and spare batteries. We'll go through that in more detail later. When you open up the brain, I have my raincoat. I live in the UK. We need the raincoat ready to grab at all times. Then, inside this bag, there's a bit of a tie here. If we open that up, you can see how much room I could add to this bag. I could take a bunch of clothes and go camping if I wanted to. Inside the bag, I hope you can see, we have the camera on one side, my tripod on the other side, and then a bunch of more squishy items down the back, which means it doesn't hurt my back when I carry it. In the sides, I have my binoculars here, and I have a little vlogging tripod selfie stick for my action camera. So once the coat's off the top, we're going to start in the main compartment of the bag. This is where I keep most of my camera equipment, the big pieces which need all this storage space. I have my tripod. This is a K&F tripod. It's relatively lightweight, but I found it to be very sturdy. Then, deeper in the bag, I have my gimbal. This is much bigger. Carbon fibre, so it is lighter, and it goes onto these tripod legs to create my gimbal. Then the last piece is the bracket, which I keep separately so it's more compact. This is what attaches the camera to the gimbal. Next, we have the camera itself. I keep the camera in this padded case. This large black padded case is the case that my Sigma 150-600mm lens came in, and that is the lens which is attached to my Canon 7D Mark II, and it's my main wildlife camera setup. In addition to that, I always bring my nifty 50, a very small and great quality lens for if I have to do a close-up photo. In this case, and I'll always throw one of these in my wildlife photography backpack, is 1 packet of silica gel. This will help absorb moisture and keep all your equipment safe from mold. In the bottom of this bag, I have a rocket blower. This is good for blowing dust off your lenses, and it keeps everything clean. And now finally, what I store in the back compartment of this middle section. In here is where I keep my spare clothes. I have a pair of socks, because you never know when your socks are going to get wet. I also have a snood, a camouflage one, should I want to disappear in the bushes, and a pair of gloves. Finally, at the bottom of this compartment, I have a poncho. Should it start raining, this poncho will go over me and the backpack, and should I have to make a shelter, I can do it with the poncho. That's the main compartment done. So now we're going to move on to the sides. On the side here, I have some binoculars. Easy to grab and a great tool when you want to zoom in and see wildlife. And on the other side, so I can quickly grab it and start vlogging, I have my selfie stick which attaches to my DJI Action 2, which I use for vlogging. So, with all of that out, now we just have the top compartment, the brain of the backpack. The brain is this very top compartment of the backpack, and it's where you keep anything you might need to get at without having to dig through the entire backpack. That includes things, as I mentioned earlier, SD cards, batteries, and I'm going to go in here and show you exactly what I carry in the accessible part of my backpack. It zips open at the top, and the compartment, although it looks very flat, it gets bigger inside. Here I have my SD cards. I have a few spare in here, as well as obviously the one in the cameras. I have a pair of tweezers because you never know when you're out in the wild if you're going to get a splinter or a tick. I would always advise carrying a pair of tweezers. Here I have my action camera. This is my DJI Action 2 and it's what I use to vlog. I'll go to this a lot. And the selfie stick that's on the side of the backpack means I can access it all very quickly. I have this Allen key, which again is something you might not think about, but it's something which is very important if you want to tighten up a tripod that's got loose, for example. I always carry an Allen key and I have a spare one on my car keys, which I'll also have with me. I have a phone bracket tripod holder thing. This means that I can attach my phone to a tripod should I want to film with it or record audio. I have a compass. This is a compass that does a lot of things. To be honest, I've never used it, but I have it anyway just in case I find the need to. There's a compass, there's a magnifying glass, there's some rulers, some drawing triangle things. It looked cool and I thought it might come in handy on one of my adventures. I have a microfiber cloth because you never know when your lens is going to get splashed or dirty and you need to clean it off using a cloth. I have my spare batteries. These are 2 spare batteries for my Canon 250D, which I'm using to film this video right now. I will also get some for my Canon 7D Mark II. They're currently charging. I have a little mount so I can put my action camera on top of my camera for POV style videos, and I have some lip balm because when you're out in the elements, your lips can get quite dry. It's good to have a bit of protection for them. And that is everything in that top pocket. That top pocket might also include things like car keys or a phone or anything I happen to be carrying that day and might want to access. And so the last thing we have to do is work out the weight of this backpack. I've got a wooden board, so we have a solid surface and some weighing scales. I'm going to have to weigh myself and then myself with the backpack and work out the difference, and that'll tell us how heavy the backpack is. Here's me without the backpack. Come on. And here's me with the backpack. Now my fantastic editor is going to pop up my weight and my weight with the backpack, which means the total weight of just the backpack is this. I hope you've enjoyed today's video and found it helpful. If you did, hit that like button and subscribe for more videos just like this. If you have any questions, pop them in the comments down below, and hopefully next time I see you, I'll be out in the real world doing wildlife photography with the backpack. See you next time.